today we are going to make apple crisp. So what you need to do is preheat your oven to 375, and you're going to use 10 cups of Golden Delicious apples, which is equivalent to about five apples. I did have some leftover apples, so I threw those in there too that we weren't eating. So we're going to use those. And we're going to prepare the apples first, set those aside, and then we're going to prepare the crisp topping. And then we're going to assemble everything so you can see it. Okay? So the first thing you need to do is, like I said, wash, clean your apples, slice them. You can slice them any way you want to. I kind of did it a little bit thin. And I just got it out of a pie pan. You can use any kind of pan. I'm just going to try the pie pan and see if it'll fit. Alright, so the first thing I need to do, after I get my apples sliced up, I need to prepare these. So you need to put those in a bowl, and you need to use about half a cup of granulated sugar. Okay, kind of stir that around in there. Make sure they can all get some sugar on them. Alright, and then you need a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. I did not have ready. Okay. And sprinkle that on there as well. So, half a cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and you need to kind of stir that around a little bit, but I think it's going to be fine because with it cooking and everything, it's going to make like a syrup. Okay. Alright, so you take that and you set it aside. The next thing you're going to do is make your topping. So, let me check, make sure y'all can see it. Okay. We're going to need 1.5 cups of brown sugar. And I usually use light brown. That's my go-to. Okay, that's 1. And 1.5. Make sure you pack it too, to make sure that it measures properly. You need a cup of oatmeal, dry oatmeal. And what you're going to do is you're going to combine all your dry ingredients in here, and then I'm going to show you what to do next with a stick of butter that you're going to use. Okay, so we got the oatmeal. You're going to need 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. Okay, 1/2 cup. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. That's 1. 2. Sorry about that. And a teaspoon of nutmeg. Okay. So, what we need to do next is just take a spoon and kind of stir that up. I'm breaking up the brown sugar in the process. Okay. Hang on. What you gotta do next is not really complicated. It just kind of sounds complicated, but it's not. You're gonna take a very cold stick of butter, okay? Not melted, don't melt it. And you're gonna cut it into small cubes. Okay, and you're going to place it in here. So I have a stick of butter. See that? Stick of butter. Okay. Take it out of the wrapper. It's best to use unsalted, but if you have salted, it's okay. have a pastry blender, you can cut this butter into the crumbly topping. But if you don't, and I don't, I'm going to use the fork. So in a pinch, you can use a fork. Hopefully this one's like really cold. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. All right. Let me get a fork. Okay. So you start placing this in here. And kind of stir it around a little bit. Let it get kind of in there. Okay. And you don't have to be perfect about it. It'll be fine. So you need to try to just kind of mush the butter into the bowl. So just mush it. Alright, so even in the recipe, the author says if you have to, use your hands. So this butter is really hard, so we're going to try to do it the best that we can. And you know, if it doesn't completely combine, it's going to be okay because it's going to melt. It should resemble small little peas. If it's well combined. So I hate having to use my hands, but sometimes it just requires it. So personally, me, I would probably just throw it all together and not worry about it. Because to me, that would be easier. Okay. I'm just not going to worry about the rest. And hopefully it'll come out. Alright, so let's get those apples into the top pan. Okay. Alright, I'm going to lightly spray. Just a little bit. This. Okay. Alright, now take your apples. Now I was going to try to arrange them really pretty and all that, but I'm not sure it's going to matter. I think a lot of people just throw them in, not worry about it. You know, this is supposed to be easy. So just make sure that when you slice your apples, they're separated really well, you know. And I'm thinking next time I make this, I may use Granny Smith apples because they're a little bit more tart. I think you can probably use whatever apple you want. The one thing that you have to think about is that getting too mushy. So if you know that the apples that you buy are not, and make sure you throw all your sugar and cinnamon on there. So the only thing you have to do now is pour your topping on top. What I'm doing is I'm kind of just, because I piled this high, just putting my top and trying to get it to settle down in. You can kind of bang it on the counter, kind of get it settle down in there and all the little cracks. There we go. And when I put it in the oven, I'm going to set something underneath it. That way if it bubbles over, you know, it'll be caught in that pan. So kind of lightly move everything around, kind of slide it into place. Now if you're using a more deeper pan, probably you wouldn't have to do that. It'll probably just sink down, which it's going to anyway, at least a little bit. Alright, so let me get cleaned up and I'll get that in the oven. 375 for 45 minutes until it's brown and bubbly. Okay, so this is the apple crisp. Just got it out of the oven. It's hot, bubbly, steamy. It's pretty easy to throw together. If you need like a dessert on a budget, this would probably be a good idea. I'm not into apples myself, but there are family members that do like them. As hot and bubbly as it is, I feel like that it's done and it has cooked its 45 minutes. So we're going to dish it up, plate it up for everybody. It would probably be really good if you had some Cool Whip or some vanilla ice cream to go on top. Okay, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time.